Hey guys, welcome to An Actors Playhouse. How have you been? Have you booked a job yet? Have you gone for any auditions? Tell me about it, please. I want to hear everything, okay? Just leave your comments below and I will find out what you've been up to. Okay, so today I want to talk to people who are very, very serious about acting. Not people who see it as a hobby or people who feel they should be actors because it's in vogue or they just want to be popular. I'm talking to those who really want to take this all the way as a career, as a profession. And I want to say to you that whatever you can do to get trained, please, I beg of you, do it. Do not think that acting is a walk in the park where you just get a script, you read it, you memorize your lines, you know how to make faces, you know how to cry, or you know how to scream, and you go on set and start acting. It will never sustain you. It will never work. People can see right through you. So I just want to tell you that there are so many things involved in acting. People might not say this to you. It might shock you to know that in acting, you have to study everything. When I say everything, I mean everything. You have to study movement. You have to study dance. You have to almost study psychology. Yes, I'm telling you the honest truth. You have to study math, at least the basics, because all of this is inside of acting. And when I say this, people go, what are you talking about? It's just acting. It's just drama, you know. I'm like, no, there's a lot that goes into preparing for a character or for a role. So today I'm going to talk about something. This episode is not going to take everything. I can't tell you everything in one episode, but I'm here to tell you to get trained. Go to a proper, serious acting class. So let's talk about the emotions when it comes to acting. There is something that I always say when I'm preparing for my role. It's called an emotional wheel. If you've never heard about an emotional wheel before, read it up, go to a class, study, buy a book, and know what it is. It is where you have a breakdown of different types of emotions. Now, it might shock you to know that there is something called basic emotions and the basic opposite of those emotions. But there's also something called the advanced emotions and the advanced opposite of those emotions. Now, a lot of us don't know anything beyond be happy, be sad, be angry, be disgusted, you know, or cry, fall in love, or that, and that's it. That's where we're at. We do not know that there are 1,000,001 words that we should learn, and those words have expressions. We do not know the difference between a basic emotion and an advanced emotion. So learning about your emotional wheel will help you to break down your character for each scene when you're doing your scene breakdown. I'm going to give you a very simple example because I'm not going to bore you with the whole list, but I need you to know how serious it is. Let's take 2 words, for instance. I'm going to give you a basic word, okay? A word can be joy. Joy is a basic emotion. Sadness is a basic emotion. Happiness is a basic emotion. But when we have emotions like optimistic, disappointed, sarcastic, if they say play optimistic, how do you do it? If they say become sarcastic, how do you draw the line between being disgusted, being disappointed, being angry? How do you draw that line between all of those and, you know, disappointed or being a pessimist? So what you have to learn is that your advanced emotion is a combination, of 2 or more basic emotions. I'll say that again. An advanced emotion is a combination of 2 or more basic emotions. Let me give you an example. A word like love is really not a basic emotion, but we hear it and we say, oh, love is basic. I know how to play love. How do you play love? How do you act love? And we'll start to hug, start to smile, and all of that. No, there is a thought process that goes into playing love because love is an advanced emotion. So with love, there are 2 emotions that are basic that you can combine to give you love. The first one is acceptance, because you love the person, you accept the person. So acceptance and joy. You accept and you're filled with joy for that person. It comes out easily. If you mix joy with the acceptance, you get love. And it's easier for you to break it down that way. And if you understand the way to feel these emotions, it will help you. It's not about How is the facial expression for love? Or how is the facial expression for acceptance? How do you express acceptance in your face? If you don't feel it, it won't come out. So everything is based on the feeling, is based on the emotion. So you have to understand why the character is accepting this person or why the character is joyful with this person before you feel it. And then when you feel both of them, knowing that you have to have both of them in your heart for this person, then the love comes out easily. Okay, so if love is an advanced emotion, let's look at the advanced opposite. What is the opposite of love? Is hate. So how do you get hate? If hate is an advanced opposite, what do you combine to get hate? So if advanced emotion is a combination of two or more basic emotions, it means that an advanced opposite will be a combination of two or more basic opposites. Do you understand? I'm sure they're looking at me like, what is she talking about? But hey, I'll break it down again. So advanced emotion is made up of two or more basic emotions to give you this emotion. Now, the advanced opposite, meaning this advanced opposite is the opposite of the advanced emotion. What is the opposite of advanced emotion? Advanced opposite. Now, if this will give you two basic emotions, and this is your advanced emotion, it means this, which is your advanced opposite, is two or more basic opposites to give you the advanced opposite. So let's say your advanced opposite for love is hate. If love is the advanced emotion, hate becomes the advanced opposite, right? Now, what are the two basic opposites that will give you the advanced opposite? Probably anger and what? Disgust. If you hate someone, you're disgusted at the sight of that person, at the mention of the person's name. You're angry. Whenever you see the person, you're angry. So mixing anger and disgust gives you the advanced opposite called hate. Now, it might not make sense to you if you do not understand the basic emotional wheel, because you have your basic emotions, your basic opposites. You have your advanced emotions and your advanced opposites. And all these basic emotions and basic opposites make up the advanced emotions and advanced opposites. If this is sounding like Greek to you, it means that you still have a long way to go. It means that you have a lot of studying to do. You have a lot of things to learn. And then another thing that I just want to say before I leave is that don't think that when they say, oh, at this part, your character is angry, and you just go, well, why? I'm angry. And you start to breathe, and you go, It's not about that. The questions you should ask: why is my character angry? What level of anger is my character supposed to be feeling? There are different types of anger. There are different emotions that come with those types of anger. So it can be very, very deep anger. It can be instant anger. It can be built over time. You might have had this thing for this person for a long time, and you've been suppressing it, and then one day you just explode. That's a different kind of anger. Instant anger can be something that someone just does to you, and you're so angry, you're pissed off, and you want to tell the person off immediately. That emotion is different from when this anger has been brewing for years. So you need to know the difference between the kind of anger that you have. Even when they say you're in love with someone, okay? The thing is, when did you fall in love with someone? Have you had history together? Have you done something together? Did you fall hopelessly in love, or is it because of something that person has done? There are different degrees to every kind of emotion. So your emotional wheel is a lot of words thrown out there. You have to be able to identify the basic ones, the advanced ones, the ones that have different types, because it is, even when people say, okay, there are different types of, when they say, oh, you have to use gestures and all of that. There are different types of gestures as well. As an actor, you should know the difference between an emphatic gesture, an indicative gesture. All these things are things we have to know as actors. And they may sound, oh, I'm not in an English class, all these words are too much. But if you do not have the knowledge, you will not last. People will notice. You will work with different types of directors and producers who will tell you different things, who will just give you instructions and wait to see if you understand what they have said. All of that is a part of your test. All of that is a part of your audition. You might go to an auditioning room, prepare your monologue, you finish your monologue, they give you a script, and then they start to talk to you about, you know what, can you say this line again, but this time be more sarcastic? Can you say the same line again and be optimistic? about that line. You have to know exactly when they mention optimism, what can I use? What emotions should I feel? What are the basic emotions that I can put together to give me what I want? So let's talk about a word like optimistic. Optimistic is an advanced emotion, meaning that there are two or more basic emotions that make up the word optimistic when it comes to emotions. And we could pick two basic emotions, one anticipate and the other one joy, okay? So for me to give you optimism, I have to blend acceptance and joy. I have to feel acceptance and I have to feel the joy for me to be optimistic. So I can be anticipating and waiting, and I can be joyful, but there's a balance, there's something in between. So how do I merge these two to become this? It means my optimism is a cross between anticipating and joy, and I am optimistic about this because I know it's going to happen, so there are different ways to identify these things. But if you do not understand the emotional wheel of your character, then that is sad. You need to understand who your character is. Then for every scene that you break down, you decide what emotions will I face, what emotions will my character have to express. And those emotions, are they basic emotions or are they advanced? If they're advanced, what basic emotions can I blend to give me the advance? If they are basic, what do I do? And there's a tempo, there's a rhythm. She goes from being very subtle to being very angry, and she breaks down in tears, and then she becomes strong again, but in the end she needs help. All of that can happen in one scene. You have to know your emotional will, and you have to know about emotional clarity. I will discuss that in another episode. You need to know emotional clarity from your emotional will, so that when people watch you, you're taking them on a journey, on a beautiful journey, that for the next 2 hours that they're watching you, or 1.5 or whatever, they're just drawn into your world, a world that you have taken them into, because you're taking them on. It's like this, it's wavy. It's not one, you're angry, you're shouting. You're happy, you're shouting. Your eyes are always open. No. Or you're talking and your eyes are dead, and no matter what you do, no matter how happy you are, your eyes are just dead. No. So guys, please, this is one of the most important things that every actor should know. So if you don't have access to the information, or if you've never heard them before, or you don't know how to blend your basic emotions or your basic opposites, or your advanced emotions or advanced opposites, please go to a class, a reputable acting school, okay? I love you guys so much. Thank you for all the encouragement and all the love. I will see you again next time.